So the race for the White House that is now heating up as far as the upcoming U.S. presidential elections are concerned. We'll get you exactly what the former President Donald Trump has to say. This development that is now coming to light as far as he is extending the Diwali greetings and pledging to safeguard the interest of Hindu Americans as well, vowing to shield them from what he has described as the anti-religion agenda of the radical left, as he has highlighted his commitment to protecting the rights and the freedoms and also enhancing relations with India, as far as saying that he was a vital ally, mentioning as far as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also concerned. And of course, this message that has now been put across as he is also taking on Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, of course, when it comes to the celebrations and the festival of Diwali. That has been one of the main highlights at the White House. And now this is coming at a time when countdown, which is already has begun when it comes to the upcoming U.S. Presidential elections. Let's get in a word from Rishabh as well, who's joining us live. Rishabh, good morning. Donald Trump's direct message, as he says, when it comes to enhancing ties with India, hitting out on those who talk about certain Hindu phobia and saying that what happened in Bangladesh was absolutely barbaric.
Well, definitely, the ongoing elections in the United States and the attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh has become a poll issue in the United States as well. And why is this happening? We need to understand the swing states are shrinking. Most of the states, the contest between Republicans and Democrats, that is Trump versus Kamala Harris, is very neck and neck. And the number of people who have not decided is shrinking way too much to call the election right now. And Donald Trump do understand that the moment the Indian American votes are dented in favor of Republicans, it would be easier for Donald Trump to get an edge. Remember, the similar thing happened back in 2016 as well. The Indian American votes came toward a Republican back then, and Trump trumped over Hillary Clinton in 2016. This time around, with the ethnic identity of Kamala Harris, who happens to be Indian American, African American, and the way Donald Trump is looking at it, this message is very clear that what happened in Bangladesh is an issue. Mohammed Yunus, who is seen very close to the current dispensation in the United States, have been attacked by Donald Trump in a way, saying that what happened in Bangladesh is barbaric, and if he becomes the president, the life of Hindu Americans will be safeguarded against any anti-religious activities. So in a way, very clear message from the Republican candidate in the United States that the Indian diaspora, the American Indian voters in the United States should vote for Republican for being safeguarded against any religious persecution wherever and whatever in the world happens. And that is something that Donald Trump's clear message on the eve of Diwali, where he was
Rishabh, as far as what happened with the minorities, as far as the Hindus in Bangladesh is concerned, this message wasn't raised at the time when all of this was happening. As far as the United States is concerned, the government back then had said that they are monitoring the situation. However, this is Donald Trump who seems to be calling out directly, saying that when it comes to protecting the rights, not just of the minorities, Hindus in Bangladesh, but also the Hindu Americans, would be done under his watch.
Well, definitely. Donald Trump, the pitch is very clear that you will have to vote for me if you want a safer environment. And that is something that Donald Trump has been talking about, that how Joe Biden hasn't been able to keep the world intact. And in the earlier tweet, or for that matter, his Truth Social post, Donald Trump also went on to say that when I was president, he was talking about 2016 to 2020, the Middle East was, calm. Russia, Ukraine was not happening. In Afghanistan, we were planning to pull out, and the way things were going, the 4 years of Joe Biden has destroyed everything. The Middle East is at brink of regional war. Russia-Ukraine war is raging, and the world economy is at its most dangerous levels. So that's the thing that Donald Trump has been pitching, and now he also understands that the moment Hindu Americans or the Indian American diaspora votes are dented in his favor, it will give him a great edge.
Well, of course, Patikrit Prem is also joining us here on the broadcast. Good morning to you. What do you make as far as Donald Trump's direct pitch is concerned, especially asking for safeguarding the rights not just of Hindu Americans, but Hindus as well, who he believes have been persecuted in Bangladesh when the crisis unfolded?
First and foremost, so far as the American society is concerned, the Hindus in America have been one of the biggest contributors in wealth creation. So invariably, they have a major stake there, and it's high time that somebody talks about them. So far as Bangladesh is concerned, what happened in the Bangladesh situation in the last 3-4 months happened right under the eyes of America. Yunus is a darling of the Clintons. He is very close to that lobby. So Yunus was just, parachuted, made the prime minister, and the kind of mayhem, violence, directed violence, persecution that was happening. United States and Biden administration keeps on saying about championing the rights of human beings and minorities, and there is a stoic silence, absolute stoic silence. The same United States which keeps on talking about so-called minority persecution in India comes out with reports which are almost fake by United States Commission for International Religious Freedom. That USICRF remains absolutely silent when it comes to what is happening in Bangladesh. This is a pogrom which is going on in Bangladesh. I mean, the economy is in doldrums. There is no democracy. There is an elected government which was thrown away. Yunus comes in. Thousands of policemen have been killed. There is no police on the road. There is no judicial system which is functional. There is no one the Hindus can go and talk to or complain. They are being systematically impoverished. Their businesses are being destroyed. They are being targeted. They are being forced to leave their business. They are being forced to leave their jobs. Their women are being kidnapped.
That point in time, Patikrit, as far as what was happening with the Hindus in Bangladesh, the United States had come out to say that they were monitoring the situation. However, it seems that in this latest post made by Donald Trump, he has also made a mention of Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying that they will also strengthen, and great partnership would also happen with India and, of course, what he calls as great friend Prime Minister Modi. Let's in the meantime talk about Delhi's toxic air, because right now as we speak, it's a day after Diwali. It is rising levels of noise pollution, air pollution and water pollution as well, that unfortunately has become an annual phenomena and a habit that doesn't seem to go, because now everybody has to suffer and bear the consequences. This is now happening at a time, even as we speak, the AQI has crossed the 300 level mark. And as far as the firecrackers are concerned, because it is said to be one of the other major contributing factors when it comes to increasing the levels of air pollution in the national capital. And there is a very given ban when it comes to the sale, the manufacture and bursting of firecrackers has been concerned. That has been defined openly and overnight. Overnight that we are looking, and we were hearing as far as the firecrackers that were being burst, and this is the result today morning that we are looking at. Already there were concerns of layer of smog that could be seen engulfing the national capital. It was dense yesterday, it is denser today. And this is when it comes to the AQI levels in many of the hotspots that has already now touched the severe air quality.
It's 7 a.m. in the morning and Delhi NCR has woken up to a thick layer of smog a day after the festival of Diwali. On your screens, you can see how a layer of smog, a layer of smoke has engulfed the national capital and areas surrounding it. We are right now in Noida. To be specific, Noida Extension area, the newly built townships that have come up in Noida, and you can see around me how a day after Diwali, smog has engulfed the entire region. Reckless bursting of firecrackers, even after clear instructions from the Apex Court, has left people thinking that is it only the work of enforcement agencies, which, by the way, has failed to enforce the Supreme Court order, as it was quite brazen that firecrackers were sold very openly in the society markets of Noida and were busted equally brazenly. And that is something that leaves people thinking that is it the enforcement agency or is it the common people of National Capital Region who are responsible for the toxic air that we are breathing this morning. For last one month, there has been issues with the AQI, but today the AQI levels have shot the new heights. I'll show you that. I'll ask my camera person Hasina to show you that how and what the actual AQI levels of Noida extension are. 254, unhealthy. This is something that would have left an emergency, a climate emergency in many countries. But here in National Capital Region, we are compelled to breathe this smoke without even lighting one. And this is how the morning after Diwali looks like in National Capital Region in Noida.